in 2026 when we're headed to the southern African nations of Zambia and Botswana for a historical, cultural, and vacation tour led by me, Dominique Cultural Ambassador for African Focus Incorporated. Enjoy luxurious accommodations, conscious fellow travelers, shopping, adventures, cultural tours, wildlife safaris, and a giant waterfall, one of the world's 7 wonders, along with a chance to be of service at an orphanage on the continent. Become an AFI trailblazer by exploring the motherland with a nonprofit organization that has members in Africa and America to help roll out the red carpet for you, and together we'll make a difference and have fun doing it. For more information, visit africanfocus.org or call 310-676-7300. That's 310-676-7300 or africanfocus.org. Whether it's stateside or exploring the diaspora, we're with you every step of the way. African Focus and KBLA Talk 1580. Come go with us.
Self-care and find our focus. This is Mindful Mondays with Saharah Ali on KBLA Talk 1580.
It is, and I'm so pleased to start the week, this holiday week, even more than others, with Saharah Ali. She is a yoga teacher, a meditation instructor, a numerologist, astrologer, life coach, sound bath specialist, sound healer, and so much more. It's time for Mindful Monday with Saharah Ali. Good morning, Saharah.
Grand Rising, Dominique and the KBLA family. Welcome to Mindful Monday, where we get our minds right for the week by setting positive intentions to honor our mind and body through meditation, prayer, and affirmation. As we step unapologetically into our week, being on purpose with our power, wisdom, faith, and truth. We're being blessed this week with the celestial gift of Mars moving into Capricorn on Wednesday until January 23rd. Mars is our willpower. Mars is exalted in Capricorn, boosting determination and resilience, asking us to play the long game, blessing us with stamina to persevere, aiding us to be on purpose with self-control, facilitating meaningful transformation through practical actions, unfolding dreams to reality. Our marching orders are to reframe our belief system, embrace our soul's path, accepting our life as God's life. Our Mindful Monday call to action is to be brave and take action towards fulfillment, harnessing personal power, trusting the Most High is our partner. Just know Capricorn is the taskmaster of the zodiac, enhancing the truth of what we value will get done. So going forward, let's lean into our Mindful Monday meditation. Pause for a moment and take a breath. Anchoring your feet to the earth, connecting to the roots of your soul, and allowing yourself to be right here, right now, on purpose. Just breathe and relax. And as you breathe, allow yourself to align with your inner wisdom. Be right here, right now, in this moment, open to love of self. Trusting wisdom, from the Most High. Relax, breathe, connecting to the power of divine clarity. Be right here, right now, in this moment, allowing yourself to relax, allowing yourself to embrace the power of your inner light. Give yourself permission to invite positive change and growth into your life here and now, and allow this positive change to gracefully unfold. Breathe, feeling centered, feeling relaxed, feeling grounded. Open your heart, open your mind to embrace change with grace. Connect to your wholeness with each breath. Relax and receive and renew as you call on your angels and ancestors supporting transformation in your life. Breathe in divine guidance and allow yourself to trust the power of who you are. Relax and celebrate. Celebrate rebirth. Celebrate grace. And open yourself to wholeness and not fear. Relax, breathing, and promising yourself to lean into the Most High as your partner, opening places of clarity and inner wisdom. Breathe, knowing and believing all things are manifesting in your favor, under grace and with ease. Breathe, quieting your mind, quieting your body, and allow yourself to sit in this moment, ready to renew your spirit and open yourself to receive our Mindful Monday affirmation for the week. Today, I give myself permission to trust and know the Most High is my partner, manifesting miracles in my life with grace and ease. Today, I give myself permission to trust and know the Most High is my partner, manifesting miracles in my life with grace and ease. Sit with that. Sit with that, relax and breathe, trusting that the Most High is your partner and miracles are manifesting in your life with grace and ease. And as you bring your awareness back, be in present time. Be right here, right now, sitting with that affirmation, trusting the Most High as your partner. Breathe, relax, feel yourself anchored and grounded, bringing your awareness back, opening yourself to trust and know the Most High is your partner, manifesting miracles in your life with grace and ease. Ground yourself, center yourself, and be right here, right now. Thank you, Dominique, Tavis Smiley, Miles, and the 1580 KBLA family. Have an unapologetic, mindfully blessed week and holiday season, giving yourself permission to trust the Most High as your partner, unfolding miracles with grace and ease.
I love that so much. Okay, so I wished you a happy birthday last Monday when it wasn't your birthday. And I'm going to wish you a happy birthday again this Monday when it's also not your birthday, because your birthday was last week. So we can just celebrate all through all of Sagittarian season. We'll just celebrate you.
Yeah, we only have a few minutes because on the 22nd we go in a hardcore rolling Capricorn, and Mars, just went there. So we're going to be more practical, but I like to say, that everything in this physical world is already history. So my birthday is history, but I can still practice it now. And so I want us, as we move forward into 2026, which is a very dynamic year, to be willing to rewrite the future we want to live. Because right now, from here on to January and a little bit into February, it's about closure. It's about releasing. It's about reframing. And most of all, taking the trash out in your life and really giving yourself permission to believe people when they tell you who they are, and embrace self-love, saying no to say yes to yourself. Because we are up against all of this artificial intelligence. We are up against the illusions of our government. And so at some point, we must allow ourselves to connect to the wholeness within us and know that there is a power greater than ourselves always moving through our lives. And so remember that. And also remember that the Mindful Monday serves as a gentle reminder to pause and reconnect with the essence of who we are. It's a sacred opportunity to step away from the noise of daily life, allowing ourselves to be present in the space of reflection and rejuvenation. So if you didn't really understand or get everything we went over this morning, check out the KBLA app and enjoy Mindful Monday throughout the week and anytime you need it to get anchored and grounded.
That's right. It's a good point. All of the shows are on the app. And you can also find them on YouTube. Of course, you'll see me sitting here with my eyes closed doing the affirmation. But nevertheless, you can meditate along with us. And I think get your affirmation, write it down. I usually write them down, but you can have it for yourself. So that's a great plan. I also think you talk about change and being on the graceful side of change. With the winter solstice, which is coming up this weekend, it's the ultimate change, right? It's what they call the return of the light because the days start to get longer again. The longest night of the year is the solstice, which is this weekend, and then after that, the nights start getting shorter again, and eventually we get to summer. We have those. It stays light until 8:30 at night. That's my favorite thing, but that's a huge change, and some folks experience it as a funk or some kind of a transformation, that can be challenging, right? Like a forced transformation.
Well, the winter solstice is an opportunity to go, as you say, it's like we have longer nights, shorter days. And so it's about embracing the truth that's in the unseen or the darkness or the world behind your eyes where divine wisdom exists. It's a time to go inward, to meditate. It's a time to reframe and rebirth. It's like the trees. The trees lose all their leaves, but the roots are still being nourished. The roots are still operating to blossom when spring comes. And so we have to understand that even though we are in this shadow period, as they would call it, there is light within that. And so this shadow period is very necessary for us to go within and explore the world behind our eyes and reframe the truth and understand that there is a divine force always moving through us, even though the sun may not be shining or you can't go outside and do all the things you normally do. But to go in and be creative, to reframe, to make a plan, because it's a transition from the winter solstice, preparing for the spring equinox. And the equinox is to create equals. So the winter solstice is a time of closure. So we clean out the closet. We clean out our glove compartment. We clean out our minds. We change our attitude. We get rid of some funky people, okay? I shouldn't have said it that way, but it's the time that all the darkness that no longer serves you, release it. And find the light within to walk through this shadow period to embrace your wholeness and your truth and understand that everything happens for a reason. We are more powerful than we allow ourselves to be. And as we are stepping into 2026, which is a whole new paradigm shift for all of us, don't be afraid to tell yourself the truth about the power you possess to be in charge of your own life.
Yeah. A couple things I want to let people know about before I forget, Saharah Ali. The next sound bath I know is January 31st. I think it's at the Yoga House. You could go to saharahali.com to find out more. You have to be on time, otherwise you don't get to go. So that's happening. You can go to saharahali.com. But also something we had talked about last year but never got around to doing just because it was so hectic. Your schedule is so busy. We are going to do it this in 2026. So the 5th of January, Saharah Ali will be doing readings on the air. And we're also going to do it the 9th. The 5th and the 9th. So for those of you, and I know there's a lot of them, Saharah, because they're DMing me. They come in the doggone YouTube chat. When is Saharah doing readings? When is Saharah doing readings? Mark your calendar. January 5th and January 9th to start your year off with some insight and some clarity. We're going to do that, and we haven't done it for 2 years, so I'm excited.
I know. I love it. I love sharing insight. I love empowering individuals. And in the meantime, please open your heart to let go and trust that we never walk alone, and that it's important to let go and give yourself permission to embrace something new. If it's old, get rid of it. If it's not working, get rid of it. And tell yourself the truth about how you're willing to love yourself and how you're willing to be loved.
Saharah Ali, thank you so much. As always, if you want to go see Saharah, get a reading, maybe get your astrological chart done, or get a sound treatment. That's what you need. Look at me telling you what you need. Call Elise at 213-628-9783, 213-628-9783. Phone lines are open now. You can weigh in on national and international matters or whatever's on your mind. I'm Dominique DePrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
I got the champagne. Everybody can glass.
KBLA Talk 1580 congratulates our own Keith Underwood, host of the weekend entertainment show Black in the Green Room, on his recent honor at the annual National Arts and Entertainment Journalism Awards. Keith received a first place award presented by the Los Angeles Press Club for his entertainment reporting, and we couldn't be prouder. Congratulations, Keith, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580. This holiday season, KBLA Talk 1580 wishes you and yours joy, peace, and prosperity. As we celebrate with family and friends, we're already looking forward to an exciting first quarter, packed with must-attend events to kick off the new year just right. In January, join us for our inaugural Brotherhood Brunch, bringing together community leaders, change makers, and everyday people for inspiration and connection. February means it's time for our signature Black History Month luncheon, a powerful celebration you won't want to miss. And in March, Women's History Month, we're once again hosting our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium and Luncheon, addressing the issues that matter most inside our community. From all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, happy holidays. Stay tuned for more details on these incredible upcoming events. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice, your community, your power.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Imagine being a million miles away. Tremfya Kuselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit tremfya.com.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DePrima on First Things First.
All right, I felt kind of bad because the clock cut us off and Jasmine didn't even get to land, so I asked her to stay, and she did. What were you saying?
I don't know. What
we
was
were
I
up against the
saying?
clock. You were just saying, I mean, I was asking you about media literacy and, you know, and what we ought to do. And you said, you know, if you do find out about something, write or call. I feel like we just have to be more sophisticated in looking at everything. Who's saying it? Why are they saying it? Follow the money.
I mean, we do. And in this case, like I said, folks should reach out to ABC7 and Leo Stallworth. But anytime you hear or see anything in the mainstream media that's incorrect, and you know it's incorrect, you should reach out and let them know.
Right.
I mean, that's the responsibility that we have. You know, when you know it's a one-person organization getting played to the world like they represent all of us, and it's a one-man organization, hit that station up and say, what are you doing? They do not represent us.
Yeah.
If you know that there's a story and they left out an organization that did the heavy lifting, that did the work, you should definitely reach out and let them know. I have my feelings about social media, but there are some things that I think it's really good at, and holding folks accountable and humbling folks is one thing the internet will do.
The internet is undefeated.
Undefeated.
Yeah.
So, we need to do that with the mainstream media as well.
Do you, when I look at news stories, I try to look at more than one source. Do you do that? Like,
I do.
Especially if it's what I consider an extreme story. I will go to the Weekly Standard or the Wall Street Journal or some other conservative paper and see what they're saying, and then I'll go see what the Huffington Post or, the Nation or somebody more on the left is saying. I'll try to see the discrepancies in the coverage.
I mean, I do. A long time ago, Asante Babu, Pan-African Film Festival, shout out, taught me if I want to know what is going on outside of America in a country, to read that country's media, right? So I learned from a long time ago that you gotta, especially when it comes to U.S. media, you need to have more than one source. I
told you now, when I travel in Africa, you've traveled in Africa too. When I travel in Africa, the default on their TV at the hotel is Al Jazeera. It is not CNN. And it's just really interesting because it's a reminder that the whole world does not see things from the same angle as the United States.
One of the things I love about the news when I am abroad, particularly in Africa, is the rain is not a breaking news story.
No, it's not.
I find that absolutely marvelous.
But
it's just life goes on.
That's
whatever
a Southern California
celebrities
thing, though.
are doing is not the breaking news story.
Okay, well, just FYI, in the Bay Area, rain is not a breaking news story either. That's a SoCal thing.
Yeah, it drives me crazy. But yeah, no, I do
storm watch.
I know, like you, I do. We'll have to give Tawanda a storm watch. I do consult multiple sources when it comes to certain things. I do read and listen to a lot of conservative media. I do not need to always know what the choir is saying, because I already know what the choir is saying. I need to know what the ops are talking about. I need to know what's going on the other side. So I'm pretty diligent about that. It can be taxing, tiring, exhausting, and all these other things.
I can only watch
I know
OAN News and Newsmax. I can only watch it in small doses.
But it gives me a lot of also inspiration.
Yeah.
Depends on how you want to harness it, how you want to use that. But yeah, you have to. You cannot. Unless it's KBLA. I mean, if you want to just listen to KBLA for your news,
we can work with that.
We can work with that. But everyone else, you got to have multiple sources. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy now with the internet. You can just go to Yahoo News or Google News and Google the topic, and they're going to give you 20 different sources.
Still got to research it, because trust me when I tell you, the AI written news gets it wrong too.
The AI news gets it wrong a lot.
Yes, I know.
The hallucinations, as they call it, when it just makes something up because it doesn't know.
Yeah.
We call that
so
lying.
Obvious.
It's obvious to you. It's obvious to me. It's not obvious to everybody.
Apparently not. I'm learning that with Tawanda. Yes, it is not.
People think it's you?
Yes.
They don't realize it's your AI alter ego.
Even though her name is I am Tawanda.ai, but yes.
Wow.
I've never hid that she was AI, but you're right. We think it's so obvious, right? But you're right. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, people don't. Yeah.
You created your own AI of you, and people think it's you. That's crazy.
Yes. I would be probably dead or in jail if I did the things
if
that
you
she
did
does.
Tawanda, the things Tawanda does, you definitely
right.
would be in
Yes,
jail. For sure in jail.
Yeah, for sure in jail.
Lisa living vicariously through her AI. That's another show for another day. But I do think it's really important. I've had people come to me when they get, virtually come to me when they get something DM'd to them on social media and they're freaked out. How do you... We're almost out of time again. So let me just say, follow Jasmine. How do we follow you?
Always not in person, but online at Hello Jasmine on Instagram. And I'm also on Facebook. It's Jasmine with the Y, Canic. I'm pretty easy to find digitally. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. I just think, I don't know. We'll have to do a show on media literacy because
there'll be other offenders.
Yeah, and also figuring out whether a clip is real at all.
Right.
Is a skill because people are all mad and then that turns out to be a whole fake thing.
Yeah.
Or a skit or something like that. Yeah. So to be continued. Jasmine Canic, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We have news, traffic, and sports, and then you can call me. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Misty Jordan with BIN News Now. Famed Hollywood director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle are dead, the reported victims of a stabbing at their Los Angeles home. The Los Angeles Times says investigators found no signs of forced entry. Former President Barack Obama is among those reacting to the tragedy, posting on X that he and the former First Lady are heartbroken and send their deepest condolences. President Trump is reflecting on 3 deadly mass shootings over the weekend. During a holiday event at the White House Sunday, Trump offered his condolences.
Brown University, 9 injured, and 2 are looking down on us right now from heaven. Likewise in Australia, as you know, that was a terrible attack.
The president called it, quote, a rough day. And tonight's Powerball drawing is worth more than $1 billion. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
It was a strong day yesterday for both of LA's NFL teams. We start with the Chargers. They rolled into Kansas City and eliminated the Chiefs from the playoffs with a 16-13 win. The Chargers are 10-4. Kansas City had won the AFC West title 9 straight years and had been in the playoffs every year since 2014. The Chiefs also lost quarterback Patrick Mahomes for the rest of the season. The 3-time Super Bowl champion suffered a torn ACL in his left knee late in the fourth quarter. The Rams clinched a playoff spot with their 41-34 win over Detroit at SoFi. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford threw for 368 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Rams are 11-3 and remain tied with Seattle for the best record in the NFC. LeBron hit 2 free throws with 3 seconds left to give the Lakers a 116-114 win at Phoenix. Luka Doncic had a game-high 29 points. The Lakers are 18-7. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Protect yourself from Medicare card scams. Scammers may call, email, or even knock on your door claiming they need your Medicare info, asking for money, or threatening to cancel your benefits. Don't fall for it. It's a scam. Remember, Medicare doesn't need to verify your information. They already have it. Medicare won't charge you for a new card and will never threaten to cancel benefits. Check your Medicare statements for suspicious charges and report scams to the California Senior Medicare Patrol at 1-855-613-7080. We're here to help.
First, they tried to erase our history.
Pentagon removed training material about the Tuskegee Airmen. Arlington National Cemetery removing histories that highlighted black veterans from its website.
Then they tried to erase our jobs.
Black Americans will disproportionately bear the brunt.
Now they think they can erase our votes.
Steal 5 congressional seats, decimating black and brown representation.
Enough is enough. I matter, my rights matter, and our future matters. That's why I'm voting yes on Prop 50. Prop 50 lets us temporarily redraw California congressional maps to counter the election rigging Trump is trying to pull off in Texas and other states. Californians across the state are stepping up and using the power of their vote to stop the madness. So vote yes on Prop 50 by November 4th, because we can't let them erase our history or our future. This ad is paid for by the NAACP and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
We're not for everybody, but we're for everybody. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
You are, and we do have a lot to talk about. I always feel a little at a loss when there's so much death and destruction in the news, because I don't really know how to address it, particularly the mass shootings, because it feels like we're doing the same stories or variations of the stories over and over again, and there is not a lot of progress or change in preventing it from happening again. Of course, you know I'm referring to a couple of mass shootings this weekend, and then the murder of Rob Reiner, Rob Reiner. Gosh, I'm mixing them up, and his wife, right? And I feel like it's hard to have a productive thing to say about these situations, but we do need to report on them, and I welcome you in to share your thoughts. Maybe you have some words of comfort or wisdom or analysis that are more helpful than what I have. One of the things that I found very jarring about the story about the Reiners, Rob Reiner and Michelle, was that apparently they made a movie about their struggle with their child in 2015, obviously like 10 years ago, and it was about their struggles as a family, and it was co-written by Nick Reiner, who is a person of interest in the killings of his mom and dad. So that's what I have from the Hollywood Reporter. I don't have anything about, what the evidence is or if there are other suspects, but they are saying, and this has been widely reported, that their child, Nick Reiner, is a suspect in the homicide of his parents. He also, apparently, according to this film and other reports, has off and on struggled with drug addiction. And this story, it's called Being Charlie. It's a film about a person whose parents are movie stars, or their dad is a movie star, and they're struggling with drug addiction, and they are resentful of the way their parents have dealt with their drug addiction, being really strict about it and forcing them into rehab. And apparently that is really close to what actually happened in real life, and it was co-written by Nick Reiner, the son of Rob and Michelle Reiner. So really, I guess that's the most insight we'll get right now, but it's just a terrible situation. And whether it's mental health and drugs or drugs alone, usually there's a combination going on right there. That drug situation is self-medicating, or if you're not self-medicating, the drug use itself can lead to the mental health struggles. Clearly a lot of that is going on, and it just is also a reminder that you don't know what's happening with people. We see the Instagram version of themselves. We see the award shows and the successes, and we don't know what exactly is going on. Okay, so now the LA Times is reporting that Nick Reiner has been arrested and booked into LA County Jail on suspicion of murder. And of course, Rob and Michelle Reiner were found dead in their home in Brentwood on yesterday. He's being held on $4 million bail. And apparently, as I was referencing in the movie, he's been in and out of rehab, has been homeless at times, even as a teenager. And as I said, in 2015, got clean, worked on this film with his dad, which is semi-autobiographical, and was apparently quite an emotional process. Sounds like it for the family, but now those deaths are being investigated as homicides, and the son, Nick Reiner, has been arrested. It's a really, 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 really sad story. Meanwhile, police detained someone Sunday in connection to that mass shooting at Brwon University. And it's so hard to know what is going on now, because we have Kash Patel in charge of the FBI. This is clearly something the FBI would be investigating. They said that they had someone in custody, and a person of interest was in custody, and there's a shelter-in-place order, but they hadn't identified that person of interest. But then they let the man out, and they said there's no basis to consider him a person of interest. So, once again, like I said, we've got Kash Patel in charge, so it's hard to know exactly what is really going on. The person that they grabbed and were holding and didn't release the name of turned out to not be a person of interest after all. All classes are canceled at Brwon. All the final exams and everything for the rest of the semester have been canceled. And 2 people are dead, 9 people injured. It's, like I said, I don't really know what to say. I'm going to cover it because I don't want us to be so jaded, so normalized. Like, these incidents have become so normalized that we don't even comment on it. But at the same time, I don't have anything else to say that's insightful. Universal background checks. I mean, look, I'm an advocate for the Second Amendment, but there are certain common sense reforms that the majority of the American people agree with. So why is it so hard? The background checks. What's hard about that? The banning of semi-automatic weapons. I don't know what to say beyond that. They're back on the hunt for a suspect in that case. The other terrible incident in Australia, a father and son go out and do a mass shooting, 15 people killed. This is at Bondi Beach in Sydney on Sunday. Sajid Akram and Naveed, a 50-year-old and a 24-year-old, allegedly, reportedly, went out and shot a bunch of people at a Hanukkah event, Jewish people. One of the victims was a 10-year-old girl, a rabbi, and a Holocaust survivor, which is crazy. Was also a Muslim man, Ahmed Al-Ahmed, who grabbed the gun away from the shooter, wrestled him to the ground. I mean, that was crazy. And then the guy runs away. They say a good guy with a gun, but that was a good guy without a gun. He just snuck up on the guy from behind a car, tackled him, took him down to the ground. They're saying that this gunman had pledged allegiance to the Islamic State, and they found Islamic State flags in the car. They say they were not part of a formal terrorist cell, but they were motivated by extreme ideology. I don't know what to say other than the fact that it has to stop. And this is actually apparently clearly terrorism. 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580 if you want to weigh in. I don't know how to give you a palate cleanser. There's lots of good things happening in the world, but when stuff happens that's this widespread and terrifying, I think people do need to talk about it, mourn about it, process it, but how to prevent the next one or how we can do better, how we can do a better job reporting, all of those things are relevant, but a lot more difficult, I feel. If we're going to be fair and nuanced. I love the fact that social media picked up on Ahmed Al-Ahmed being a Muslim man who stopped even more people from being killed there at Bondi. And the amount of bravery that it takes to do that is insane. I mean, to walk up on a guy with a weapon, tackle him and take the gun, you got to be... You have to be insane or brave or both. Shout out to him. Shout out to people, that remind us in the middle of tragedy like this that there are good people. There are extremely good people, kind people, people who are driven by ethics, not what's legal and what's illegal, but what's humane and what's not humane, what's ethical and what's not ethical. 800-920-1580, that's the number to call if you got a thing to say. We do, as always, have a lot to talk about. KBLA, Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
Are you coughing a lot, especially at night? Are you often short of breath? Are you using your rescue inhaler often? These could be signs that your asthma is not under control. To keep your asthma in check and help prevent an asthma attack, ask your healthcare provider for an asthma action plan. This is a personalized plan you create with your doctor that shows you what to do and what medicines to help control your asthma and to use when you're having a hard time breathing or when you're having an asthma attack. Please don't wait until you're having an asthma attack. Do something about it now. Schedule a visit with your healthcare provider today to make that action plan and take control of your asthma. For more tips and resources on the management of asthma, visit luma-edu.com. This message is brought to you by Amgen and AstraZeneca.
Days after the Eaton fire devastated entire neighborhoods in Pasadena and Altadena, Black Freedom Fund, an organization that invests in leaders and organizations transforming Black communities, established the Black LA Relief and Recovery Fund. The Black LA Relief and Recovery Fund is supporting local organizations, providing direct resources to families, and making sure that recovery reflects the needs and voices of the people who live there. For many, the journey to rebuild is just beginning, and the Black Freedom Fund is committed to being with them every step of the way. Stand with Dina. Donate by texting Black LA to the number 707070. That's Black LA to 707070. Together, we can help our neighbors rebuild their homes, lives, and hope. The Black Freedom Fund is proud to sponsor Conversation Live, Altadena Rising, with James Farr on KBLA, Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
Wow, the president talking smack about Rob Reiner on Truth Social is peak diabolical. He's saying that he has Trump derangement syndrome and sort of blaming him for his own death. And then he says, may they rest in peace. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It does make me wonder, well, let me not even say it. Yeah, it's just, wow. Karma. Just one more, just karma. Interestingly, I found this super interesting. This terrible shooting happens in Bondi Beach in Australia. So what does the Australian government do? They announced that they are immediately going to change their gun laws. You can wait another 100 years. They're not going to change around here. But apparently the Australians were very concerned, and they are going to overhaul their gun laws immediately. That's the first thing on the agenda. And, well, I don't know what to say. I mean, this is what I'll say. I feel like we saw this in New Zealand. Now we're seeing it in Australia. And all it does is point out what's wrong with us and why, even though we're starting to see mass shootings in other parts of the world now, we don't see them continuing over and over and over again, at least not so far. It happens, they make a change to the law, and then it makes it harder for it to happen. And that's exactly what they're doing in Australia, and that's exactly what we've never, ever yet done here in the United States. And I say yet because I'm an optimist and I believe we can. But New Zealand instantly made changes to their gun laws. The moment they had a mass shooting, and now the same thing is happening with Australia. They're going to tighten their gun laws. They're not even probably going to have a debate about it. I'm sure they must have gun lobbies there, just like we have them here, and organizations that protect people's rights, their Second Amendment rights. It's not Second Amendment, whatever their gun rights situation is. But federal and state government leaders have already agreed that they're going to overhaul their gun laws. And they have tough gun laws to begin with. So they're not going to give thoughts and prayers. They're going to make change. And that's where we need to be, making change, making it harder for the next group. It was sad to read about that one young person who had been at Parkland, had been in a mass school shooting, and now they're at another one at Brwon. It's terrible. Here's your palate refresher. A federal grand jury in Virginia once again refusing to indict Attorney General Letitia James out of New York, black woman out of New York. That's the third time they've tried to get charges brought against her. And a grand jury say, nah, I don't think so. And I am hoping this is a good sign, since the Department of Justice is now trying to bring mortgage fraud charges against everybody, every Democrat with a mortgage. Adam Schiff, Letitia James. They already did it to Marilyn Mosby. And I saw an excellent report about how the kind of so-called alleged fraud that they're bringing is really a minor paperwork error, or in the case of Letitia James, it's correct on most of the papers. There's only 1 or 2 pages where the information was incorrect, so it should have been overridden by the correct information. But what I'm hoping is that means that grand juries in general, the American public is waking up to the tactics, the retaliation tactics that this Department of Justice is using as it acquiesces to act as the personal lawyer and revenge arm of the supervillain in the White House. And it's a big loss for the Department of Justice, but the kind of error that was on Letitia James's, allegedly on some of Letitia James's mortgage paperwork, is apparently all over Donald Trump's paperwork. So you would think the DOJ would be, looking at the upside. At least we don't later have to go after our dear leader and put him in jail for mortgage fraud. But as per usual, the double standard is glaring and insane. Well, so that was your palate cleanser, at least for now. The attorney who brought charges against the president successfully out of New York will not be facing phony, so-called trumped-up charges against herself in the case of every Democrat supposedly has done mortgage fraud, if you ask President Trump. And I think that is true. I think the American public is getting wiser. I think that's obviously going to show up in jurors, that we don't necessarily believe the hype. Everyone may not be protesting, but everyone's starting to get a little bit more aware, a little bit, and savvy. And I partly attribute that to social media. I mean, you see, we all see these videos where the official story is one thing and then the body cam footage tells a totally different story. You see the stories like the lady at Cinnabon, going off on a racist rant, all the Karens. And what ends up happening is, I think in people's minds, they say, well, we don't know the whole story yet. And we're getting to be more comfortable not always believing the official story. And I think that's a good thing. I think it will make for more objective juries who can actually weigh the facts and not just go along with what Goliath said. I guess we're on a little bit of a theme on media literacy. I'm always on that theme because I just feel like that's the trap right now. It can change a person's entire ideology. If you see something online and you don't double check to make sure it's true, and I've had these conversations, as you well know, with members of my own family and plenty of voices on the air, they looked at one story, which was probably not even true or was spun to such an extreme, and then they changed their whole worldview based on that story, and it turns out not to be true. That's one of the reasons we have a Talking Point Tuesday. That's one of the reasons why I'm constantly talking about fact-based and evidence-based. Sure, you can speculate if you say you're speculating, but let's be clear and let's not allow our whole worldview to be changed. Example, this pervasive talking point that immigrants get big checks and housing when they come to this country. That's just not the case. Well, if you're a Ukrainian, you may get housing, or if you're an Afghan. Why? Because those are seen as war situations, and in the case of Ukraine, you can say it's because they're white. That's what folks were saying about, the lighter-skinned Venezuelans and such. And that may well be, but there's also the political aspect. The average migrant from Latin America, from Africa, from Haiti, is not getting a check, and they're not getting housing. That is not what's happening. People change their whole world views. Well, I hate Biden because he's giving these people checks based on something that isn't even factual. And that if you were to fact check it, you would be able to learn that it's not factual. But the way things are coming at us so fast and furious, to where you can't even fact check in real time, it's easy to latch on to something. So if you find yourself moved like that by a particular story, a particular theme, go down the rabbit hole and make sure that is really true before you change your whole worldview based on a skit or some misinformation. Yes, indeed. That's my little rant for your Holiday Monday. I call it Holiday Monday because next week is Christmas and Kwanzaa and all the good stuff. Looking forward to talking with Isaac Hayes III. He's my guest next hour, and you're invited in. News, traffic, and sports, then more on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Misty Jordan with BIN News Now. Famed Hollywood director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle are dead, the reported victims of a stabbing at their Los Angeles home. The Los Angeles Times says investigators found no signs of forced entry. Former President Barack Obama is among those reacting to the tragedy, posting on X that he and the former First Lady are heartbroken and send their deepest condolences. President Trump is reflecting on 3 deadly mass shootings over the weekend. During a holiday event at the White House Sunday, Trump offered his condolences.
Brown University, 9 injured, and 2 are looking down on us right now from heaven. Likewise in Australia, as you know, that was a terrible attack.
The president called it, quote, a rough day. And tonight's Powerball drawing is worth more than $1 billion. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
It was